Kane sent me this story, and I had some stuff I was going to talk about in this segment, but now this is completely just attention jacked the whole segment now. You sent me this yesterday. We had a headline on, or no, day before, right? Monday on jeans.
No, it was yesterday that we talked about it. We saw it over the weekend.
Though. Yeah. We were talking about jeans and how it made me think of it with with the concept of talking about the Cold War and Ukraine going into NATO, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and how jeans became like they were the symbol of freedom and capitalism. And North Korea has this old BBC, this gardening program where they blur the dude's pants out because he's in jeans, and they don't allow jeans in North Korea. It's true. You can only get one of several haircuts if you live there as well. I know. It's but now they say that wearing jeans, first they said jeans and hoodies could help tackle climate change. That was in 2014. And now they say wearing jeans is bad for the environment. That's the new thing. And they said, I do want to know who, because the other one that I had said like 2-something miles. So this article said a study revealed wearing one pair is the equivalent of driving for like over 6 miles. Who sits down there and figures that out? I want to drag them behind my car. Who sits down and does this? Well, let's see. Figuring out my pair of pants is equal to how much driving. What a weird measure. Kane, how much driving is your pants equal to?
6.6 miles.
I don't know what the hell I'm wearing. I don't know what I'm wearing. I'm wearing
something. Is there
something
worse? So, because aren't jeans made from cotton?
Yeah, my pants are made from cotton.
So is it cotton?
I'm in brown, which is Wood and Goth discovered color.
Or are they trying to argue that the machinery that actually make the jeans are the ones that are causing?
Well, what about the child labor in the underdeveloped countries where they outsource all the making of their jeans now? Yeah. I mean, oh, that's right. That doesn't count. That pollution doesn't count if it's in, it's in Asia. That's white privilege. The pollution counts less when Chinese kids and Uyghurs that are imprisoned make the product. Did you know this?
I didn't.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like if you're mining over here, like say you're going and you're digging for cobalt, right? You can't do that really here because, bad for the environment and stuff. And, the labor, you gotta, But if you are in Asia or if you are a black child in the Democratic Republic of Congo, it doesn't count as much. Because the white people that drive all the products that are powered by cobalt don't see it. You see how that works? Right. The white progressives don't see it because they don't see the abuse of, which would count for over here, minority labor. They don't really see that, so it doesn't count, right? Nothing says racist white privilege like progressives acting like the pollution doesn't occur because it's in a country where they can't see it. Wow. That's true, though. That's how they look at it. Well, there's no pollution here. I just don't see it. Everything is nice and pristine. Meanwhile, in China, they literally have cancer lakes. Like they call them cancer lakes. Everybody lives by their dyes. They're like pink. Google it. For real. Yeah. They don't care about the environment over there. You think China cares about the environment? No. But hey, it's not here. So it doesn't count, right? It's in China. It's in a place I've never heard of before. It's all the way over there. It's weird. So it doesn't matter. So now they were saying they were saying in 2014, less energy was wasted if people wear casual clothing. I felt like they were trying to tell everybody to dress like schlubs. Right?
Well, they didn't have to say anything about that in the 90s.
I just want to know where they get the arbitrary. It's like driving a car for 6 miles. Well, if you wear leather pants, how many? Oh.
That's like riding a cow for a half mile.
Right? It's like driving 5 cars at once.
Gassy cow.
This is wild. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. I'm amazed. So now it's bad for the environment. They can't really, it's like how eggs are bad for your cholesterol, but they're good. But then they're bad again, but they're good. I don't know. What are they?
They're good.
Are they good for it again?
They've always been good.
Well, I know they have been. But like, what is it now? What does the Ministry of
what's the
BS say
actual-
now?
I think the narrative has changed since we've seen a lot of these carnivore and keto diets pop up. I think that eggs have. I think the bashing of eggs has subsided a bit.
I'm just saying, So that's what they were trying to. That's what they were pushing. So now jeans are bad. The most iconic piece of freedom in culture is bad now. Bad to wear. I think there's been an agenda for a long time to try to push you to what Carol Roth has said. You will own nothing and you will be happy. I feel like there's been I think I've told you guys about this before. Like do you guys know that whole tiny house thing? Can I just be honest? The whole shabby chic thing and the everything white palette and the tiny house movement are all to make you have no color, boring, dirty old stuff in tiny spaces. That's what it is. Shiplap everything. Just saying. I don't know. I get real weird with that stuff. Right? Yeah. It's just weird. Like the tiny house thing. Did I tell you the one episode I watched where these people, they didn't have no land. They had no land. And they spent, I don't even know how you can spend, it was like $200,000 on basically an outhouse on wheels with a tiny little space for a bed. And they kept going, well, we love the fixtures. I'm like, you cannot even lay down in it. You love the fixtures? You basically take a deuce right next to where you sit and you eat your meals.
Yeah, or cook the meals.
Yeah, like literally you're dropping a deuce on the other side of your stove. That's weird, man. That's weird, right? Right?
Yeah, no matter what the context.
And then I look at them and they had a cat too. Of course they did. He was like an underwater basket weaver and she braided toe hair. I don't know. And they both made $1 million. I don't know. And they had a cat and they sold their yuppie apartment. I think that, of course, they lived in New York or some urban major city. And they didn't even have any land. They're like, well, now we've got to figure out where to put our house. It's not a house. It was a glorified outhouse with a bed area and a tiny little stove on wheels. And they made a big deal about the paint and look at the flooring and all. She kept going on about the fixtures and it's so well appointed. And I'm just cannot get over it. Couldn't even do laundry. And I'm like, where are you going to go do your laundry? If they have friends over, if they entertain, they all have to sit outside because they all can't fit in their little outhouse on wheels. They all got to sit outside, right? On property they don't own because they didn't even think about the land part of it. That's wild. You can tell that people are, in some respects, they just have no idea about property ownership. Well, we have an idea for our house. You got to have land first. What? Well, where are you going to put it? It can't just float in the air. Where are you going to put it at? Oh my gosh, I couldn't get over this. Hang on. They had a whole, I stopped watching it because first I made fun of it. Yeah, they call it, they have tiny house hunters and they call tiny house big living.
Is it big?
What?
Is it big living?
It's a damn dollhouse.
Is it big living?
It's not big living. It is a literal dollhouse. They're dollhouses. If I ever saw one of these driving down the road, I would die of laughter. I would wreck my car because I would have just seized and died of laughter watching it roll down. And these people, it's not that they're broke or they're struggling or they can't afford anything else. This is how they virtue signal. I actually was only able to watch like 2 episodes and I could not anymore. I just couldn't. Like I watched this one lady. Oh my gosh. I watched this one episode, right? I could go on about she spent like $500 on the faucet. And it was one of those big, curvy, like professional chef. And that's like on the cheaper side, isn't it? I think for those big, giant old faucets. Actually, it was like over $500 on her faucet. But I kid you not, hands to sky, she was balking over how much they needed for their little mobile, their version of a sewer system. She couldn't wrap her brain around that. She could not wrap her brain around it. She's like, but $500 something on this faucet seems like a good idea for my shack. It seems like a good idea. What am I going to do with my dookie? I don't know. She could not figure it out. And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is the country. This is the country right now. This is us. Right?
They're old enough to vote.
Oh my gosh. No, Kane, I swear she was like in her late 30s.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Like this guy. They talk about this artist. He doesn't just make tiny houses. He creates micro masterpieces. Shut up. You're a damn dumpster diver. Shut up. I hate this whole movement. Hate. I also don't like the all white palette. I feel like it's anti everything. It's anti tradition. Look, guys, here's an idea. Let's have everything be grayish. What? Imagine the color of depressing, and then I want you to make that your home. What?
All 125 square feet.
Yeah, all 5 square feet of it. Grayish. Mm-hmm. Just everything just imagine everything the same color, right?
Those houses are built out of shiplap.
Or the whole shabby chic thing, the men out there are like, I don't even know what that is. Don't ask your wives about it because you'll never get away from that conversation. Just trust me on this. That's where they had this lady designer take things that were ratty and tattered and like, oh, this is character. It's like how when people say something, like when they say something is rustic, it's just crappy. Rustic is fancy for crappy. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, right? That's what that means.